be an idea. Calvin Ridley was a steal pick. I really wanted Calvin
this year.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't you say, or like you're like, gosh darn it, as soon as I picked him?
Yeah, I was cussing you out when you took him. Because I was going to take him. I had him like queued up, and then it was gone. I was like, Trey, you sly dog.
And I told her to pick Geno Smith, and everyone was like, damn. They all like whispered.
Yeah, I was like, come on, Jason, get out of her ear.
She needed him, though. The QBs would have been bad.
Yeah, it's okay. It's Sandy. She doesn't care.
Yeah, she got lost by a long shot last year.
All right. Before we go any farther, this is episode 114.
Yes. I think
so. It's 114.
Did we get 113 posted?
Yeah.
The whole 30 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never came up in my feed, so I never saw.
I didn't see I saw it pop up on
yeah.
Okay.
So this is episode 114, Speaking Sporadically. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Absolutely.
You can follow our Instagram and TikTok at Speaking Sporadically. I got my boy Luke, Trey. I'm Devin, and this is Jason. He's a guest, but he's been here a lot. So
recently.
He's basically like
Evan 2.0.
a Vice host.
An upgraded Evan.
You better not watch this one, or
I bet he will.
I will hear an earful of it.
You always do. You always do.
So will I the next time I see him.
Every time he's on, you do.
So before this episode, we were talking about what we should talk about, and Luke brought up a good point. Tis the season for fantasy and football, and all
we
things,
got 2 weeks
NFL.
until
our
draft for the podcast league. And we got the cage coming up.
I'm looking forward to it.
Already.
You should.
I'm looking forward to it. Give you a little motivation for the season.
I don't need it, bro. I think it's just going to be a good time. I got a good draft strategy. Not really a strategy, but I've got some good notes, some guys that I like. I actually do have one strategy. I don't want to give it away because it's good.
Obviously.
Like, it's a quarterback strategy. I'll say that.
Okay.
That's not
Mine's
my strategy. But
I was telling Frank mine when we did the Owls League, but he's done any other league with me, so.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he is
fun.
in another league with me.
So I'm going to let Trey and Luke have the floor for a little bit because they just did their Owls draft, which is just a local place
we'll
that
give
they
them an
work.
analysis of what we think of their teams.
So I just wanted you guys to run down kind of how the draft went, how you felt.
So,
Give me and Jason your team. We'll be unbiased listeners, and we'll kind of
unbiased listeners, as unbiased as it can get.
Was there any like crazy
any
outlandish
shocks?
picks before you guys even get going
Any
on your
crazy?
team? Like
I couldn't believe. No, so we're this to run it down. So this is a double QB, 3 wide receivers, and then defense, kicker, tight end, flex.
2 running backs.
2 running backs.
So just the only difference is extra QB,
extra
receiver.
QB. It's not a super flex. An extra QB. It has to be a QB, and then the extra wide receiver.
It is high scoring games.
Yeah.
It's fun. It makes it a lot more competitive. I think I enjoy it a lot more. I couldn't believe. I guess maybe I'm the only one who's done crazy amounts of research. I guess, but like every time I've watched any sort of like super flex or double QB like mock draft,
How many QBs weren't taken that high?
QBs are supposed to go like second off the board,
Yeah,
like second overall. I got Patrick Mahomes at pick 8.
that's pretty good.
That's ridiculous.
That was the first QB take, and then Frank took.
Frank drafting the turn. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts.
That's probably what
That's
I
a
would've
strat. That is a strategy.
he's gonna
I
win
mean,
and lose.
He was sitting right next to me. He's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm like,
'Cause
what is he doing?
done. One thing I learned from just more listening to different football and doing research is you don't win by drafting safe guys. Like I listen, the Fantasy Footballers podcast. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
famous
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
They say it all the time. I don't always listen to them, but I occasionally pick in. But they always say that if you want to win your league, you take the risky picks.
Yep.
Like if you want to win your league, you don't draft Keenan Allen. He's a great guy, and he will get you consistent points. But he's not like the Bijan Robinson who might get you 40, who might be the RB1, or he could be terrible. If you want to win, then you take those risky guys. If you want to not lose, then there's obvious.
I prefer to mix my consistent guys with my risky picks, though.
Yeah. So
just to try
that's
to
what a lot of
build
people
a little
do.
bit of consistency.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do.
I always tell people I don't play to not lose. I play to win.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm gonna take my chance on those guys. I don't. People tell me about like people are scared about Cooper Kupp's injury. I'm not either. Doesn't bother me one bit because
Dude, he's going in like some drafts like the 9th overall.
That's
pick.
crazy because
that is ridiculous.
Yeah, the upside of that's that. But like
he plays, he's
pretty
the
good.
best fantasy player, including QBs. He outscores all QBs when he plays.
Yeah.
In fantasy points.
Like last year, if he didn't get hurt, he was on track. I think
he was going to be
1,700
ridiculous.
yards.
He was going to win me the
28
league last
touchdowns,
year.
something like that.
Absolutely.
Like he was going
It
to
was
break the year
close.
before if he continued the trend he was on.
Mhm.
Evan Allen told me, he's like, I really hope someone picks him top 5. And I'm like, if I have the 5th pick and he's still there, I promise you I will be picking him. There's no reason.
Evan's draft strategies always confuse me, or like his logic behind players. Like anyone that's gotten an injury in the last 3 years, they're now injury prone as crap. Any rookie for him is beyond untouchable. Like Bijan this year, if Bijan fell to him and he had the 12th pick in our draft, I don't think he'd take him.
That's crazy.
And that's ridiculous.
I don't think he'd take him.
And Bijan's pretty much like sixth pick overall consensus.
Yeah, that is confusing because he's really high on Tony Pollard, and he's going to be good, but like
He got injured last year.
It's not like he's going to he's guaranteed to have a breakeout season either. You know, this is going to be his first time. He's going to have
having the full workload.
He's like requesting trades for me for Tony Pollard. It's not enough that I'm pretty high on Tony Pollard too this year though. So, but like, I'm ready to just ride with Tony Pollard, see where he gets me.
Tony
It's going to take a
Pollard
lot for me
season.
to trade him this year. I think he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was getting at, where like the double QB strategy, that's how you win. You take those 2 high guys, and there are some weeks where you can get stomped on, but at the same time, there's some weeks.
They're dropping both 40 bombs.
Yeah.
That's 80 points right
It
there.
could. We'll see.
Yeah.
I guess I'll open up and go ESPN here.
Yeah. So you guys, I guess
You want me to just give you my entire lineup, my roster?
Just take us through the draft.
Take us through the
If there's
draft.
anything
So
insane that happened first round,
You
if
had
you could
like
remember.
I had the
you pick
4th pick.
Fourth pick, yeah.
And
no-
how many people are in this league?
10.
10.
10 teams.
No QBs went off the board. Cooper fell to me at 4. So I'm like, I think I'm just going to take Cooper Kupp and wait on a QB. I kept doing that the entire draft. I'd be like, all right, I'm going to take my QB now. It's a 2 QB league. I don't want to get screwed over. I'm like, but this guy's still here. I might just take him instead.
Yeah.
I did that like 4 rounds in a row because I kept telling pick. I'm like, all right, this is the round I'm getting my QB.
It's like what you do with the tight end, and then you end up with Kyle Pitts.
I told Frank
Yeah.
that though too yesterday. Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, and like Darren Waller were off the board, and he's like, "Should I take my tight end right now?" I'm like, "It's not even worth it. Just wait. Just takes it. Fill your other slots. It's not even worth taking a tight end right now. They're all dog crap after you get past those 3."
Even Darren Waller, I wouldn't even put up there. I just put Mark
Not a big
Andrews and
Hawkins
Travis
side.
Kelce.
Yeah, those 2 are. I mean,
TJ
well,
Hawkinson.
Kelsey's by himself, and then
Okay,
Andrews
T.J.
is
Hawkinson was
close.
off the board
I
too.
was gonna
Those 4 are
say,
the
I
only
was
ones that
like,
you're
you're not big-
worth.
you're
Like
not a big
kind of worth
Hawkinson
it. Not
kinda guy?
really.
I got the draft recap too. If we want to go
If you
through
want to just give us anything special, like obviously I don't want to go through every
I'll
single
make sure I
pick,
look out
but
for something that's like kind of off kilter.
If not, just hit up your guys' picks, and then we'll do a recap of the team.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler falling to 7 was a little.
That's very surprising.
That was kind of a steal for
Especially,
that-
my
was
boy
wild.
for Joel.
especially because
Wild.
no one's picked the QB at that
Mhm.
point, right?
Like Patrick
that would make
Mahomes.
sense if someone picked the QB before that,
It's
because
different.
that would obviously make him drop back.
Yeah,
but-
Travis Kelce got drafted 5th overall.
Can you list
in
me
this
off
one.
that first 7?
Yeah,
Like,
just do the
I'll
first
give you
round.
the first round. So first overall, CMC.
Okay, that's fine.
Second overall, Jay Jettas. Third overall, Jamar.
Okay.
Then Cooper Kupp
Yep.
for Trey. And then it was Travis Kelce. Then Bijan Robinson, Austin Eckler. And then I picked Patrick Mahomes. I was like, I cannot believe I'm getting Patrick Mahomes for
Yeah.
pick 8 price in a double QB league.
I'm surprised you didn't pick like Jalen Hurts or
Mm.
Josh Allen over him with the rushing upside.
Patrick Mahomes gets his fair share of rushing, and he does his fair share of passing.
He does his fair share of passing, you know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just
You
a
can't
little
really
bit.
go wrong
He's
between
probably
the
a
3.
little safer. He's more on the safe
I'm on that
side.
safe side. It's a safe, solid QB because then I can hop into the middle rounds and
Yeah.
pick up some other stuff. Then we had Tyreek Hill, who I was really hoping he might make the turnaround, but I think that was a little.
That was
It was a little pushy,
they
but
def-
like at the same time, I
He
knew it was.
definitely could have because last year it did the same trend. You started picking a QB, so I could have saw QB start getting taken off the board. Everyone panics,
Mhm.
so I could have saw him falling to you again, and you already
Mhm.
got your Patrick Mahomes.
It would
pick.
have been cool if I could have
That
got
would've been-
Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill stack would have been epic.
and then maybe picking up Geno Smith later as a draft
Yeah,
went
exactly.
on.
He was on.
Yeah,
on my
With the two
radar.
QB stats, that's got to be a thing. Get a good, like an elite QB. In the
You
first
have to have
2
an
rounds,
elite.
and then maybe have Geno Smith fall to you late.
That's what I was looking
That's
at.
what I was
and then
Smith
it,
underrated.
That probably would have been my strategy going into that.
Sounds like you're pretty high on Geno Smith this year.
He had an amazing season last year.
finished as QB 8, I think, and he's going as ADP like 15 or something. QB. I think he's only going to be better this year. So
Yeah.
JSN
when you're adding
offense.
JSN, I mean,
But definitely
I
after
think
I
at the end
took
of this year, they're going to have the best wide receiver core in the NFL. So he's better than the Bengals. That Seahawks team,
Maybe.
that
Maybe.
Seahawks wide receiver is going to be
We'll
legit.
see.
Depending on how good
JSN
JSN
is
is.
gonna be crazy.
I think Metcalf's a little overrated.
I do
JSN could be.
I do think
Tyler
Metcalf
Lockett's
is
JSN's
overrated,
really good.
but I
Tyler
think just
Lockett's
them as a
overrated.
unit is still going to be good, though.
Yeah.
But like definitely after I took mine, and obviously we had, so then the guy at 10 took Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts back to back.
The guy at 10 is Frank Reithland. So.
Yes.
He had Frank
Been
the
on
Tank,
podcast.
had him on before. But then there was a little bit of a rush there because then you saw Lamar and Justin Fields go too
Mhm.
at the end of the round 2. And then that's
Joe
kind of like
Joe
the end of
Burrow.
the elite QBs,
Now you wait.
fantasy QBs. And then it's like a waiting game. It's like, all right, I'm going to hop on running back and wide receiver train now for a while. And that's where we were.
Yeah, so
Definitely for a while.
in my second round, I was going to take a QB, but then CD Lamb fell into my lap. I'm like, all right, I think I'm just going to get a double stack, and my wide receivers are going to be cracked. And then right after my pick, Lamar was gone. I'm like, all right, elite QBs are out now. I might as well just wait a little bit.
Kick the can down.
Yeah,
the
so
road.
next round, I was going to take a QB, and then Josh Jacobs fell into my lap. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm waiting another round. Next round, where's my pick? I think I took. Then next round, Calvin Ridley was still there in the 4th round. I'm like, you know what? I might as well take Calvin Ridley. The round after that, Mark Andrews is still on the board. I'm like, you know what?
That's a good pick.
I might as well get my tight end advantage. And then I
Mhm.
think the round after that, I finally took a QB. Yeah, I took
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
And then you realize, oh shoot, there's no QBs left. No wonder these guys are falling to me. They were all taking QBs.
So I got my starting QBs are both Daniel Jones and Jared Goff, which I'm fine with. Jared Goff, the
Yeah,
Lions
dude.
had a top 3 offense last season. Daniel Jones has rushing upside, so I'll live with that if I'm gonna get beat at QB every week. But like, who's gonna be a triple stack of Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, and Calvin Ridley, wide receiver?
That is an epic 1, 2, 3.
That's pretty
And
scary.
then my running backs, Josh Jacob, and I have Cam Akers as my RB2, and then my flex could be J.K. Dobbins, Michael Pittman, Jamal Williams.
Jonah
Williams.
Williams, an offensive line tank, bro. I might, if I was you, I would switch one of those guys out for Cam Akers.
Cam Akers is starting. He's my RB2.
Yeah, don't you have like a running back on your bench?
Yes.
Not one that's better than
Cam
Cam
Akers?
Oh, okay.
I'm probably going to start Jamal
Cam
Williams
Akers is
over, even over J.K. Dobbins. He's still RB1. But Jamal Williams, Alvin Kamara is suspended, so he'll be RB1 for a while.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks.
Where did Kareem Hunt go? Did he sign with the Saints? I think he did, right?
You might want to.
Or was it Colts?
Kareem Hunt didn't sign with anyone yet, did he?
I thought
No.
he did yet.
So he went with the Saints.
I know he
he
took
went with the
multiple tours
Saints,
and did.
and they were close, but they never came to an agreement.
Okay, that's what it was.
But it sounds like to me you need to get a trade to get that running back too. Give rid of some of that bench on your wide receiver.
Cam Akers, the
I'll
last...
trade you Dalvin Cook for Calvin Ridley.
No. Cam Akers, the last year from week 12 to 17, he was RB like 3.
Yeah, I'm fine. with
RB2.
Cam Akers. I'm just worried about your flex.
Yeah, flex will be. It depends how J.K. Dobbins does.
I'm scared.
Well, it's
Yeah.
also, you're not going to have a perfect team.
No, that's
Never
true.
do.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right.
To load up at one spot, you'll have to give up somewhere
So,
else.
just
It's just how it is.
Receivers just carry that. Anything that they.
Or Josh
They
Jacobs
should.
does what he does last year, and I'll be completely fine.
And we'll see. Because the stat always is I think there's been one since 2013. There's been one running back to finish in the top 5 after having the most touches the year before, and Josh Jacobs had the most touches in the league last year. So we'll see.
That's also very fair. Running backs.
I think
are-
it's 1 in the top 5 and 3 in the top 10. So they usually have like a massive fall off after having the most touches in the season prior.
Yeah, running backs are always hit or miss, I feel like.
It is, but it isn't, Depends on the receiving upside.
That's the game we play.
It is indeed stressful. Always stressful.
You want
want
to take us?
list off your team, Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took Patrick Mahomes, obviously. I said that. Pick 8 overall. After the turn, I took Nick Chubb. I think that's a really solid running back to build my team around. I thought he was still sitting there. Then
He's a
Walk,
safer pick, yeah.
sitting in the end of round 3, I picked up Jalen Waddle. And then I took Ramondre Stevenson. And then in Jerry Jeudy, probably. I'm looking at my picks. I'm just kind of guessing. I'll go back to my draft, the draft recap.
I remember doing this draft
Yeah.
last year.
It was
I forgot it was a 2 QB league last year, and I got stuck in the same boat. Like, I'm like, why are QBs going so high? Like, I'm getting these dudes.
And then I took Brees Hall round 6. Round 7 was Brandon Ayuk. Round 8 I took Anthony Richardson. That's my second QB. I'm putting some chips in with that, with the rushing upside. Especially since he's going to be the week 1 starter. I think that's a pretty solid pick.
That's who I was going to take, but you took him right before.
Got you. You want to trade for him?
I'm not that desperate.
Fine. Then I took Dalvin Cook. I could not believe he was still there. And now I have number 1 and number 2 New York Jets running backs. And if they decide to be good, I mean, it could be really good.
Yeah.
Then I took Sky Moore, round 10, pick 93 overall. Then Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Mooney, Elijah Moore,
Elijah Moore's a good pick.
Rashad Penny. Yeah, Jason was giving me crap for it last night when I picked him. He was like, I just got done telling Sandy not to take her.
That was Juju.
That was Juju.
No. I thought it was Elijah. I thought you were giving me crap when I picked Elijah Moore. I was like, okay,
I
whatever.
don't think he's going to be that good.
I mean, he's not
I don't
playing.
You're not.
I don't know who else was available around that
I don't
time.
remember
Yeah, you're not
how
expecting
good.
to be.
where I think it was.
Wide
He's a
receiver
backup.
10.
Yeah,
I mean,
can't
like, that's
picture
like-
what other receivers are going around him. but-
If one of my top 3, I have to move Sky Moore into the wide receiver, I mean, maybe I play him at flex, but probably not.
Yeah.
It's like the backup of the backup. I got to pick somebody type of deal. Best available. And then round 15, really. Nico Collins, round 16. Took Evan McPherson, kicker. And then a defense. And then I took someone that I ended up dropping today, and I picked up somebody else. So,
You don't want to say?
well, I will say.
Did you
I
get it?
picked up,
Or is it
yeah, I mean,
waiver?
it lets you do it automatically.
Oh, okay.
I picked up Luke Musgrave, the Green Bay tight end, starting tight end.
Okay.
And I dropped Zonovan Knight.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much
They could
sitting
be
at.
bad. I have no clue. So to be completely honest,
I don't think
know.
they're going to be.
I've
game
been seeing
changers.
some stuff. I've been seeing some stuff
Yeah,
about him. So I'm like,
that's what I do. I
It's
see
like, I'm
anyone
sad
with
Pat
those picks.
Freiermuth.
It's just solely off of potential upside.
potential upside. Yeah,
That was the other. This is
Probably going to
the.
strike out on most of them, but
it's how it is. It's part
This
of the game.
was the wild thing in the draft. 49ers defense got picked in the 9th round
yeah.
before.
yeah, that
I
was
did
wild.
Before
That
like
That
George
was-
Kittle, J.K. Dobbins, Dallas Goedert, Tyler Lockett, David Montgomery. A lot of people.
Yeah.
The next
Mhm.
defense didn't get drafted till like 4 rounds later.
like 13. Yeah,
That
13,
was
14.
That was something. When I
5
saw
rounds
that.
later.
Oh, I think a lot of people like a strategy to do is like you round out your team. Like you don't worry about your bench until you have like every single like thing like
Filled.
you know what I'm saying. So like once you have your starting quarterbacks, your running backs, your receivers, your
Yeah,
tight
you
ends,
can
like,
fill out your team.
Then
but
you
could've
then
did-
you go your defense and you get like the best defense, you get the best kicker, and you're like boom, and you kind of bank all your.
You
money
could have did
on
that
those
4
guys.
rounds later.
I don't.
Mhm.
I don't draft kickers or defenses in the draft.
Yeah.
I pick them up.
They make
before
you.
the
They
week.
make you do it.
They make you draft
They make
it.
you draft them.
Oh, they do. And sleeper,
Yeah.
they don't.
Oh, and sleeper they don't.
Yeah,
No.
Sleeper they don't. ESPN they do.
ESPN they make you draft them because
Okay,
they're
so-
like you have to finish your
So
team.
do they just show up like as in like the draft button goes away?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the only
you
thing-
literally can only pick
You
You
kicker.
can only
Or,
pick kicker defense. Only thing that
so
shows
it happened
up.
to Jacob last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because he wanted to
That's
pick some
dumb.
sleeper, dude. I remember that he was
Yeah.
mad.
He was really upset.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I have to pick a defense and a kicker. I don't even want to pick them. Whatever.
I mean, valid.
yeah.
Especially
True,
kicker.
but-
I'd rather just hold a spot for those people up till the beginning of the week,
Mhm.
and then figure out. By then, I'll know who I want to drop, and then pick those people up. But
I mean, whatever. I guess it is what it is.
that was
Yeah.
something.
That was pretty much the. Those were the teams.
Did you guys get a good look at the other guys' team in that league too?
I kind of
really
looked at it, and
I
I
then
didn't look at
I'd
it
have
like
to
that
go
all
back
yet.
I'm
and-
gonna ask you who you guys think the best team in that league is. But
I'll check some of the people I
talk
expect
about
to be the
Empire
best.
league that we got
My
going
team.
on.
Yeah, my team's the
Oh,
best,
yeah.
obviously.
We're doing
mm.
we're doing a vampire league, and it's just like it's got 10 people. You just make a regular. It's just a regular draft at first, but come week 1, if you beat someone, you can force any single trade you want with them. I can give you one of that Packers tight end, and I can take Justin Jefferson from you.
Sounds dumb.
That sounds
every
terrible.
week, if you lose, that person can make a force trade with you, and any week you win, you can force trade that person with anything you want.
That sounds dumb.
That sounds rude as all get out.
Yeah. Because that's just
That takes
you're just
away
gonna
all the
build
fun
a-
of drafting.
Yeah, you're just gonna build up a. My biggest problem is you're just gonna build up a tank, like
But like other teams will too, though.
I guess.
It's not like
then
it's
it'll
just
just
gonna
be
be
then
one
it'll just be
person.
two elites that'll just go back and forth passing the great players while everyone else is sitting in the sewers. What the draft style I know is I forget what it's called, but one person doesn't get a
Grim
draft.
Reaper's draft.
What is it?
Grim Reaper draft.
Yeah, I think it's a Grim Reaper draft. One
Yeah, we
person
thought about doing that
doesn't
too.
draft at all, or they don't
Yeah.
draft till the end, so their team is absolutely terrible.
No,
But if they beat you,
they can only pick up free agent players once the draft's over.
yeah, it's something like that. Their team is really bad, but if they beat you, then they can do that any trade. So obviously their team is bad, but if they get lucky once, then they can obviously get a really good player, and then it keeps going down the line.
Yeah,
I
but
like that one too.
'Cause that one's more level because they start at the bottom, but if they get lucky, they can really shoot themselves.
but
up.
that way it's
one
only
you just-
fun for one person though.
I mean, it's still fun for the
I
people
think
if you're playing.
Vampires is just when everyone's involved in it. It's like every game is huge, every week to week for the first 5 weeks, because the first week no one's gonna know who's the elite players. Like there's still gonna be busts that you don't know yet. There's still gonna be that for the first couple weeks.
I just feel like even after the first 2 weeks, like the game's gonna be over. Because like,
I mean,
if
even-
you take a standard team and then you beat someone and you could take their first round pick, just like that, you could have Justin Jefferson and Austin Eckler on the same team. Like,
even
how
if
are
you're
you
acting
gonna?
like
And then everyone
a team
else
in
is
week
still
two,
just as
if
solid.
say I lose week one, say I lose week one and someone takes my best player, my team in week 2 is still going to be better than that person's Grim Reaper team off the waivers.
Yeah, but it's gonna be closer. You're closing the gaps. You need to get lucky a few times, and then you can keep jumping that level.
That's the same thing.
till
You can get
even.
lucky each time.
It doesn't.
Yeah, like an entire team could be on a bye week, and you could beat them and you get their best player that was staying out that
But
week.
buys don't start till what,
anyone
week
can get
7?
7, yeah.
So the first 6 weeks you can win and get the 6th best player, or the best player on 6 different
Yeah,
people's
if you get
teams, which
lucky
is 6
enough.
first-round drafts.
If you get lucky enough,
yeah, but you're
yeah.
acting like every single top player is producing 40 points a game.
Every
They can
team-
bust a week.
They can, but the other players aren't. I promise you, it's gonna. If I have Justin Jefferson and I win 1 week, and then the next week I get Austin Eckler, my chance of winning skyrocket. And then if I
Yeah.
do win again, like
Right.
the odds say I will, I get to take that person's best player.
Right.
And then I have Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, and Justin Jefferson on the same team. My chances of winning keep
the odds
going
of that
up.
though are crazy low because
No, it's not.
Yeah,
no,
'cause
it's literally.
you're
It's
not-
actually
'cause
more
that
likely
team-
for me to win.
if a team you beat in week 3 still has CMC, that means they also have won.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
And so then they're both going to have an elite team against your team.
So then, then whoever wins is gonna have the more. Like, let's say, yeah, I have those 3 people. They also have those 3 elite people. Whoever wins is gonna have 4 elite people. Like either
Yes.
way, someone's going to come out on top by week 5 with 5 first-round picks.
Okay, and that might happen and it might not though. It's just a way to play it out.
I guess it.
You're acting
It could be
like
fun
it-
if there was
you're
rules
acting like
around it.
It might not.
So
but
that
the
would mean
odds point to
those
that.
2 teams still have to play very good on each one of those weeks to win. Like it's still like a chance. Like there's gonna be those teams that get upsetted. There's gonna be like it's still
Yeah,
gonna
but
happen.
it's very unlikely. It's
But it
way
could
more
still
unlikely
can
than a
happen.
standard game. It can, but that's
We'll
what I'm
keep-
saying.
we'll fill
The
you
odds-
guys in as
the
that
odds
keeps
point
going.
to know. You know what I'm saying?
Which is and it's gonna be my team that comes out on top. But
Hey,
I mean, it's just,
hope it
it's
is.
not like it's a serious league. It's just for
Yeah,
fun.
that's
true.
Just trying it out.
I'm just
So
saying.
it-
I think
it's
I
not
think by
that
week
deep.
5. I think by week 5 it'd be boring for a lot of people.
which probably
could be.
I mean, that team that could
Destroy.
be.
Well, yeah, if I get destroyed every week, yeah, probably. But like,
Seems like
It's
those
just a
guys
fun league.
Because all your
caring.
good players are leaving your team every week.
You win 1 week, it's somebody good, and then you lose again the next week, and you lose them again. That would suck.
Injuries are really going to cost those people.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
injuries
steal
could
that.
play a difference.
I think
as
it could be fun though. Like if you say if you take a round 1, you have to give a round 1.
And it's just like and it's not
See,
like
because then you
anyone-
could be like picking matchups.
and at the
And you think
beginning-
someone's going to do better in a matchup because, like, if Justin Jefferson, the Vikings are playing, I don't know, somebody in that division, who's-
Texans or someone.
the Texans or somebody who sucks. They're going to put up a monster week.
Oh, what?
I said Bengals. Yeah.
Anyways,
that's
but
true.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it could be, and you're like trying to pick matchups, and that could make it way more technical and more fun.
I do like that if you would do like rounds, like a first, because you could still get a big advantage. Like if you were like the 10th pick and someone else was like the second, and oh yeah, Austin Eckler's doing really good this year, and Tyreek Hill or whatever is round 10 isn't. You could easily make that trade, and it would even it out, but it would still give you an advantage. And it would also be cool, I think, for like the free agents. Like by week 4, there might be an insane free agent that someone picks up, and you pick up some bum free agent, so you get a really big swap there.
The big just changing and
because
way
some
and
free
way.
agent goes ham, and then you just throw whatever crap free agent. So I think that would be cool. I think that would make it a little more fair, more enjoyable.
It'd be more enjoyable. It'd be more technical.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, John, my brother, they were in a vampire league. He started off 1-3. He ended up winning.
Wow.
Pick up people off the waiver wire that end up being a starter, and it just is. You just got to win that one game. Then it's
just a little bit.
Shift right
It's
there.
the momentum.
So
Yeah.
I guess it just
It's a
depends
big
on
deal.
how well you can
Manage
predict
your
who's
team.
going to be good off the waivers.
You just got to be really good at like trying to take a guess, and
It also depends on your schedule. Like if the
That would-
person,
that's another thing.
if the
too.
person, the people that you keep playing, like also keep losing, then it's gonna be fair matches. Or like let's say they just won, so they just got a really good player, but the rest of their team is crap, and then you may have a chance to beat them and whatnot. But if you keep playing the people that keep winning, then it's gonna be a snowball effect, and I don't think you're ever gonna catch up. They're just gonna keep steamrolling.
Yep.
because you really could have just one of those elite teams.
Yeah, I mean, you keep taking everyone's first round. And your
Elite
before you know it,
QB.
your whole team's first round picks.
Austin Eckler,
Travis
Christian-
Kelce in the tight end, all
Justin
that.
Jefferson, Jamar Chase,
Yeah.
1 and 2 wide receivers.
But yeah, I guess
Yeah.
we'll keep updated with how that league goes.
Yeah, see how interesting it is.
We're gonna end this.
It'll be fun. Oh.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah, it'll be a different type of thing, It'll
Mhm.
be fun. It'll be fun to do something different like that. I've never got to do a vampire league, but Isaac McDermott was talking to me. He's like, because he was like Matt. He was like, he got really into me about some of my fantasy football takes, and I was like, yeah, well, the only type of leagues you do is the standard format of a 12-man league. And he's like, so Jason, have you done every single league? And I'm like, not quite. I kind of want to try a vampire league. And I explained that to him, and he starts start going off on me. I'm like, let's do it then. And that's kind of
So now
how it
you're here.
actually got going. But
That's fun.
I'm only in one league this year, which I'm happy about. I like
Yes.
it that way. I think one league is just better because
it definitely is.
when you have multiple, like it sucks because you have to like root for some people, but then like root
Mhm.
against the same because you're playing.
which is
with them.
why
and even when you have one team, you can like also root for different teams. Like, yo, I want this whole defense to do well, or like, yo, Texans, I need you to shut out the Ravens because this guy has 2 Ravens players. So it's just you're a lot less all over the place when actually watching football.
It's more
Which is nice.
centralized and more focused.
Yeah.
which
Like last year, we had the second league, but like we had no money on the line. There was no reason for us to like try. So I
Yeah.
just kind of like
That's
let it
fine.
roll, and I
That's
really didn't
fine.
care.
You put in your best lineup, and then
That was it.
I don't
Cool.
worry.
yes, which is why my vampire league's like at the bottom of my I
Priority.
couldn't like I'm gonna set the lineup obviously each week, but like I'm never gonna be like, oh, if that podcast league is something like I need this player to do good for me because he's on my team, and then I'm playing against the other guy in my vampire league, I'd rather him just drop 50.
I mean,
like, I'm
yeah.
fine with losing that vampire league.
Podcast is definitely at the top of the priority. Money on the line and a punishment on the line if you lose. So
We got to figure out the punishment too.
I do.
We'll probably decide.
I was gonna say that
As
the
they
day
decide
of the
the day
draft is
of-
when
Yeah,
we're gonna
Fox should
have
talk about
everyone, and we can just talk about it then.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna plan on.
yeah.
and then obviously we'll do an announcement.
Let's do a
whenever The
marathon.
most recent pod.
Let's not do that.
I was thinking anyone who wants to give an idea out, and then we can just all have a vote.
I
that
still think
day,
the Waffle House one would be funniest.
Well, we can even do like a mix. 'Cause I know we've talked about so many different
Yes.
types of punishments, varieties, and even doing like depending on how you place is like what level of punishment you get
Mhm.
and stuff.
True.
Yeah, I know we've probably got about another minute.
No, okay.
But so yeah, we'll talk about that and we'll explain it after we do the draft, and we may even do some little episode or segment at the actual draft or recap.
Yeah,
or
we
something.
should. We do like record the first round
Yeah.
type.
I know
of
we
deal.
talked about it last year and it never happened, but
We'll see
put,
what happens.
put a little
Do something.
piece in our brain and see if we remember.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna end this segment. We'll be back in a second. Texans.
CJ Stroud. Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
When I checked 2 days ago, they didn't have an official one yet. CJ Stroud is expected to. It's not official, though.
He's definitely going to start.
Yeah, I think he will too. Even though apparently he hasn't been looking too promising.
Yeah, I know. And
But-
Davis Mill has been, and that's why I think they haven't even
Nah,
made it official yet.
If I was Texas, I still wouldn't go. I've tried Davis Mills for a few years. It just doesn't work, and you got to have something else. You need a spark. I mean, CJ Stroud hasn't, like, completely disproven himself. You know?
Yeah. No, I mean,
Mhm.
you pick
Plenty of
You pick a
time.
guy with a top 5 pick, expecting him to be pro ready. I mean,
Yeah.
you expect him to be
Yeah,
ready.
CJ Stroud's QB1.
You expecting him to be that guy.
Fake news.
It's not true though.
No,
It
he's
wasn't
just
fake.
trying to get us to not draft CJ Stroud in fantasy.
It's facts.
That's true.
I want him.
Reverse psychology.
Honestly, I'm about to go on our dynasty right now and pick him up and just put him on my taxi squad that doesn't take up rosters.
I get he's already picked up by someone. I guarantee it.
Oh, he is.
He has to be.
In
Why
a-
would
in a
someone
dynasty?
not have? I think Lucas might have him, but I was gonna say I picked
Lucas
up.
did absolutely slam rookies. So.
Yeah, I would assume Lucas has him in his taxi squad, but yeah, no, so
Yeah.
that's the way
No
that
one's
goes.
No one's picked up Jordan Love or Brock Purdy.
Bro, pick him up. Do it.
Those take actual spots probably.
Yeah, they
Like
do.
if I could put him in my taxi squad, I'd pick him up. But
Hey, let's see the best rookie that's not on anyone's taxi. Josh Downs,
Is that?
Who?
wide receiver on the Colts.
Sounds like a nobody.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm gonna pick him up, put him in my taxi squad.
might as well if you have an empty spot. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
taxi squad is just like an empty spot not on your roster that you could put any rookie you have in your dynasty league into a taxi squad, and it doesn't fill up an actual roster spot. So
Interesting.
might as well use them.
Oh yeah, put something in there. Someone.
As I said, I haven't filled it up. I think I have like Jordan Addison, Bryce Young, and Tank Bigsby.
Tank Bigsby.
Bigsby. That's a
Bigsby.
sick name.
Dude,
bro.
it is a sick
For
name.
running back, you got to be a running
Bigsby.
back, dude. Tank Bigsby.
That is a cool name.
Oh, what's I wonder if the one running back from the Cowboys is picked up.
Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn. I think
Mm.
I don't know if I switched him out. I don't think I did. I definitely didn't, because I was gonna. I have their other one, like Dowdle or something, but this was before preseason, and now I'm pretty sure Deuce Vaughn has taken that running back 2 spot. So
Yeah, dude, he is shifty.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
He has been.
like, there's a lot of like talk going on about him. Like, he actually may be a sleeper pick just for the fact, like, he will literally run under tackles. Like, there will be people that are tall enough that when they put their arms out to tackle, like they're like the normal tackle they would do would be, because he's like what 5'6", 5'9",
Yes.
something like that. Like their arm
He's
that when they go to
small,
tackle would be
small.
over that, so he could
That
literally
is
duck
tiny.
and go
like
under
he is
tackles.
small.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to like, because you're so like, I mean,
You're so used to tackling guys that are like 6'1",
at least the
6'2".
same size as you is bigger, so you're used to tackling like straight on. Like you have to like dive.
low.
So like he could cause a lot of people to miss tackles. I
When
think.
like he celebrates with his offensive line, and I'm not kidding, he is like up to their chest.
maybe, yeah.
It's crazy how small he is, and it's like oh
It's wild because even Bryce Young behind the
Mhm.
Panthers line, that picture came out. And Bryce
think-
Young's like 5'11", 6'1",
I was gonna say, I think
6 inches taller.
I think Bryce Young's actually like a decent amount taller than him too. So it's
yeah,
like
because Deuce Vaughn's 5'5".
he
It's
is 5'5".
It's 5'5" or 5'6". It's one of the two.
I thought so
I thought
too.
it was
I thought
like
he was like
down there.
5'6".
I'm pretty sure he's 5'5". And Bryce Young's
it
like
could
5'11", 6 foot. That's another 5-6 inches taller than him. And he looks short compared to his offensive line too. I can't remember Deuce Vaughn.
And another thing, it'd be hard to see him too. It'd be hard
Oh,
to see him
behind
in
the line,
backfield.
yeah.
Like you will not see him until he crosses the line of scrimmage. Like if he is behind the line, you don't know if it's a stretch up the middle, trap, or whatever. Like I could see there actually being a decent advantage.
Yeah,
Then again, he is not plowing anyone over. Really.
No,
That's
he relies on strictly on speed and stealth.
Yeah, stealth.
Speed, stealth.
Speed and stealth.
Stands behind the line a little bit. He's
Where'd
right
he go?
here. He's
Where'd
right
he go?
here.
Stands in a guy's shadow.
Yeah,
you could do some neat trick plays with him though.
you probably could.
You could probably like throw him over the line.
yeah.
Just pick him up and
If that was legal, he'd be a good candidate for it.
have a league where you can do that stuff. That'd be hilarious to watch.
He
Just
could
get
definitely
thrown.
like hide pretty easily, and like a logo, like if they were in like all white jerseys, and he lays down like the white, some white. He could
I
definitely.
mean, there was the
hide.
one kick return. I think it was college or was it high school, Where the one guy laid down in the end zone.
Yeah.
I couldn't see him and actually went for like 50 yards on the return.
Funny enough, we did that in junior high football. Our junior high football team, we had a play where we did that exact thing where...
Did you guys ever use it?
What? No. Well, yeah. So we had that play, but we never used it. But there was also that other play where we'd have 2 receivers back, basically. Or, okay. So you'd have the return man back, and then we'd have 2 gunners on each side, right? Or they'd be blockers to cover the gunners, which are the 2 people on the outside that rush on the punt. And what we would do is when they would kick the punt, if it would go one way, the punt returner would run to the opposite side and look up out like he's about to catch the ball. And the corner that was covering the gunners would turn and sprint straight behind and go grab the ball. And it worked. We scored a touchdown off of it one time. It was amazing.
Really? Did everyone go for the guy that was actually get the ball?
Because when you're running, you just hear the boom and you don't see it. You just look for the guy and you see him run over there and he's like looking at it and getting ready. So everyone sprinted over there, even the gunner on the side, and then that corner just dropped straight back, went right into his hands, and no one was over there. He just took off and ran, and it worked. It was amazing. I didn't think it would work. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I think horns was the actual like punt. Like if coach would say like horns, then we would go and it would just be normal punt.
Honestly,
it was like bull and horns, I think.
I can see how that would work with like you're not looking at the ball at all. You're going straight as fast as you can. Just
catch up.
Judge off of like where the guy's catching it at. So that's still really cool that it worked.
Yeah, and it was able to work too because obviously in junior high they don't punt very far, so that corner had time to get back because he only had to drop back like 20 yards.
Yeah.
And NFL wouldn't really work because they'd have to turn around and sprint and maybe get down 50 yards or whatever it is. But yeah, that was cool. I remember that.
5 hours ago, C.J. Stroud has yet to be named Texas starting QB.
Oh, you go on their depth charts.
He's expected to. I said he's not named yet officially. You probably saw a preseason game when he was starting a QB. He is not officially.
It was just their depth chart. I looked up.
Well, where'd you read that from?
NBC Sports 5 hours ago.
C.J. Stroud depth chart from?
ESPN.
Because he is QB1 on the depth chart.
Well, then he's officially.
That's not official.
Yes,
that changes throughout preseason, bro.
I mean, not really.
It does.
I mean, yeah, it can, but like it's
all
set.
I said, like Anthony Richardson has been
officially
named for week 1 regular season starter. CJ Stroud hasn't.
Well, I don't think there's any like official thing where like you have to do that. Usually when your roster is set, that is like when the depth chart and roster is set, that's like as official as it gets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some teams may say like
he's starting, named starter.
Okay.
So that's fine.
I think if he's first on the official depth chart, then he is in my books. Again, it could change.
Yes.
I still don't think anyone's really starting him in a single QB league. So
no. Unless you have like a 32-man league.
Taxi squad though.
That'd be wild.
Gotta have.
Yeah.
You never know when they can pop out.
Yeah.
Just like actually Anthony Richardson and CJ Stroud went before Bryce Young in that dynasty draft we had. Did you know that? Lucas picked Anthony Richardson like really early, and someone got CJ Stroud. I'm assuming just because they played for Ohio State, whoever it was. But
the Anthony Richardson one makes sense because
that would make sense.
The rushing upside is too valuable to pass up.
I think so too. Yeah, but I just picked up. I saw Bryce Young was in there still, and I was like, oh, I'll take him.
Especially with Jonathan Taylor now going to be gone.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Jonathan Taylor.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I don't think he's going to get any trades and get any offers.
He's just going to end up like taking a year off.
Playing. I think he'll play. I think when it comes down to crunch time, I think he'll buck up and play, but he's not going to be happy, and he probably won't do very good.
He probably won't get a play if he's not happy because he's going to be giving attitude at practices and things like that.
Very true, but then again, they need him or they want him.
I could see him just saying out. After, like, wanting a bigger contract and not getting a trade is a different thing, but the stuff that the Colts owner said, I'd be pretty mad if I was him, too.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Well, that would just suck because we draft, or, like, there's drafts so early. You're taking Jonathan Taylor round 2 or 3, thinking it's a steal, and he sits out an entire season.
Yeah.
That would suck. That would hurt so bad.
That's one thing.
Be perfect for trades, though.
He's someone. Honestly, with all that news, though, say like you do draft like tonight, he'd probably fall so back. It'd be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you could get him like round 7,
that would be.
Round 7 would be nuts.
That would be nuts. I would take him before that round 7.
I mean, if he doesn't play, then that would suck.
That's fun. That's true, but
dude, I'm really.
If he does. He's gonna be the running back 1 for every team he's on. So it's like if he did,
I'd be willing to take a round 4 gamble, not even a gamble if he plays or not.
I mean,
Easily.
He was still the leading rusher 2 years ago. So I mean, if he goes to a team, that team is going to use him.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is, maybe he doesn't find a trade and that he just sits out for the Colts.
You want to take that risk?
It's definitely a possibility, I guess, but I'd be willing to take that chance though.
I just don't know what team would trade for him though.
Right now, I really don't
know.
know.
League would trade for him.
Because all the teams that like wanted a
Dolphins.
running back or wanted a better running back, they kind of traded for one already. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is Dolphins, but I don't know how much money they have
Well,
left.
it's like the Bills have been linked with like every single big running back they wanted to trade or signing. Same with the Chiefs, but that's just because everyone wants to hype them up and get a stud running back.
I don't think Chiefs would get him.
They probably don't have the money to sign him.
I'd be interested to see like right now where Jonathan Taylor's going in these drafts.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be fun.
I'll see what I can find.
That's one reason I'm thankful that we're drafting as late as we are. It's September 3rd, right?
Yeah, it's like literally I think a week before week
Yeah,
1 is.
which is perfect. If it was up to me, I would literally draft
I think
an
that
hour.
Thursday after the draft is the first
It
game,
might be.
isn't it? That's the Chiefs and Rams.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty much
So
like
we
4
did it.
days.
That is awesome. Say, if it was up to me, I would draft an hour before kickoff.
Yeah.
Because the later,
Bro,
the
that'd be
better.
wild.
It would be good. Like, all right, guys.
8:30 kickoff. You're drafting at 6:30.
Yeah.
6 or
It's
6:30.
We gotta
definitely-
get this out, boys. Get the lineup.
It's definitely better to. The later you can do it, the better. But also at the same time, it's always a lot more fun to be in person when everyone can make it.
Yes,
So say
yes.
we have it easy because most of us stay home. If not, I think we are the longest away, and that's only 2 hours. And so like we could come home on any weekend for that. But like if you live, say, we had like a couple people who went to college 2 states away or something.
Yeah.
I would much rather have it with all of us together 4 weeks before that week 1
Absolutely.
than
And yeah.
do
It's
it
more
all
fun
that.
when everyone gets
Absolutely.
together.
Especially
Especially when you get dog on people's picks. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
idiot.
Oh,
it's
like
so much
you yell
better.
Get in
across the
people's
room.
heads.
You yell across the
It's
room.
just so
like,
much
Evan,
better.
Evan Newton when he drafted Jalen Hurts
yeah,
round
the whole
1.
room. What are you doing? Everyone's like, I think it's a good pick. I like it.
I saw stuff that he was a sleeper. Yeah, in round 6, bro.
I mean, low key, the actual draft is like one of the most fun things in the
Oh,
whole
by
thing.
far.
Oh, for
So,
sure.
by far.
That's the best part of the season.
need-
Like all the research up going up to the
you
draft.
need, like just like dog on everyone. What's crazy is like how many times we all dog on people. It's been so wrong. Like we dogged on Jacob and Jamal Williams. I'm not saying he was great, but like he was still like a very solid running back too to have in your fantasy. And it's like we all dogged on him for that. And it was a bad pick at the time. Like it was a bad at the time. You wouldn't expect DeAndre Swift getting injured for that area, and then for Jamal Williams to take over as that touchdown
machine.
guy.
His
So
overall
it's like,
ADP right now is 21 overall.
who's that? Oh,
Jonathan Taylor.
That's
I bet I get to think about how many teams
Is it-
have already been
when-
drafted though.
When was that updated? Do you know? Because this basically just happened with like
2 hours ago.
the trade request stuff happening.
Or last year, too. We're going.
What app
Over.
was it?
It's Fantasy Pros.
Okay, I don't know then.
Oh, that's a good one.
Man, they're
I
good.
guess
That's gonna be
that-
accurate.
That was pretty close
That's
to what it
pretty
was
accurate.
before all that this stuff happened.
It doesn't say when it was updated, but
Yeah, I don't know, but
I bet that's still pretty recent.
Or even-
Consensus rankings. You want to hear the consensus rankings on Fantasy Pros right now? Overall, 1 Jay Jettas, then CMC, Jamar Chase, Travis Kelce, number 5 Nick Chubb,
No Austin Eckler yet?
Tyreek Hill, then Austin Eckler, Cooper Kupp 8, Derrick Henry 9, Bijan Robinson 10. Those are your consensus picks right now.
I mean,
coming from Fantasy Pros.
Yeah, that top 10 is my top 10, just in a little weird of an order.
Just
I
a
think.
different order.
I would love for Cooper Kupp to fall to me 8 spot.
I
bro.
was gonna say he won't. If
He
I,
won't.
If I promise you, if I have a top,
Not
6
in our
pick, he's not
draft.
falling to 8.
Even number 1 pick.
Well, he ain't going to have number 1 pick, so.
I wouldn't be opposed to picking Cooper Kupp with the first overall pick.
Asia Pacific is cracked, bro.
You're gonna
They're going to win.
do you want
You're
the
gonna, are
number
you gonna
one?
do the number 1 pick?
I probably will.
Okay.
If I get to pick one, yeah. I'm gonna
Honestly,
pick
I don't
one.
even
You're
know what I
gonna.
would pick.
I'll pick one.
You're gonna pick the number. one.
If I win, I will be picking
I
number
hope
1.
you win then.
I might.
What
We'll
would you
see.
pick?
I'd pick 5 probably.
Only 5. You, Jason?
I think it's gonna depend on who is in front of me. Say, if
Well, you're first. You're
You
first.
gotta
if I
go.
win, okay.
You win.
What-
You're
what-
first
If
to pick.
my
1
team,
through
my
12.
team wins it. My little league team wins
Yes,
it.
you're first to pick.
Did we
To
have
play it safe, I'd probably pick 4 to play it safe.
I'd
with the guys
I'd probably be around there too.
I could, you know.
Either that or I'd hit like 9, 10.
Wait, but
Hit
I just
that
want a top
turn.
6 pick.
I want a
6 to
top
1,
3 pick.
anywhere-
That's my goal.
anywhere
Dude,
from
yeah, 6 to 1 is so interchangeable if you like more. They're the 6 elite fantasy football players. And you
Anywhere
just pick your
6 to
poison.
1.
Whoever
That's
falls to you,
yeah.
you can get a steal or it's.
That's why sometimes I like being that 9, 10. I can hit that turn. I can take.
I
the top
didn't hate
whatever's
that.
left,
Like I
hit
said,
that
if my
turn.
team
Right
sucked,
now,
like I wouldn't be
the
mad.
8th spot is the last one. So even if I get top 8,
I know that's what I'm
that's
saying. I'm
that's
good.
actually fine.
That's what I
with
was.
me.
That's what I was saying earlier too. I'm like, he's got like 4
even if I get
teams
that
out.
8th pick, and that's even if, say, all these 7 people, like if you 3 and the other 3 that beat me, let's say your guys' teams beat me out, you guys have the option to even pick 12 or 11. Not saying, I mean, you guys probably won't, but like
Going for that
some
underdog
people,
mentality.
someone that might be appealing to someone. Say like someone's little league team got 5th, like in 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're all taken. Maybe they would be willing. I'll take the 12.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Like I said, if I was like the 6th pick,
Like because a lot
and
of
like
people,
picks 1 through 5 are gone.
because a lot
pretty
of
much.
people think if I don't get the top 3 pick, I'd rather just go to the back and get
Pick the turn.
I'd rather
stuff.
pick
Like,
the turn,
and
too.
Lock in with Nick Chubb, CeeDee Lamb. If you can maybe get like those 2 and stuff.
or just do a double elite wide receiver too, and just lock up.
yeah, whatever. Like
whatever.
that'd be more appealing than some people than getting a top 6 pick. I mean, a 4 to 6 pick, maybe.
I agree with that too. It's just like I could do either. I'm fine with either. I just don't want to be drafting like 4 through 9.
Yeah,
Picks 4 through 9 are just not appealing.
which is actually
Really?
a lie.
Middle, just right in the middle.
Even
I've
4.
done that. I've drafted 4 the last 2 years, and I don't like being right in the middle. I like being able to get 2 picks kind of simultaneously
I like
on
the
either
turns.
on either extreme. That's where I want to be.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I actually kind of hope my little league team doesn't win it all. I would rather have, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather like have 2 or 3 people beat me in that little league, and so I get to pick after them, and I get to adjust like. Because it really does change for me depending on if Trey is in front of me versus
Or
if
Jacob.
Jacob is that
Why
actually
would
makes
that
me switch.
matter at all?
So like I feel like you have a lot of the same opinions as me as far as who you want, and so when
That's
you
fair.
would go, I don't really want to be close to you in my picks.
I know, I remember last year during the draft we sat next to each other. We're talking about the same dudes, have the same dudes queued up and stuff.
So
Yeah.
me personally,
Well,
like, and
While Jacob would probably take like Devon A-Chain.
no, I'm not saying Jacob's bad. It's just he has a different
that's a sleeper
strategy.
pick.
He just
Sleeper
He's
pick.
not bad. But
It's not saying like
not
any of these guys are bad at drafting. Like
I mean,
it's not
Jacob
saying, but like
I don't know if I can get behind Evan Luthman any way possible. I'm getting behind Evan Luthman. I'm
okay,
sorry.
that's fine. Evan Luthman's the exception, but what I'm saying is like, as far as like your guys' strategy is completely different.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And if you don't want a Bengals player, you just go right behind Isaiah.
Yeah.
He'll have all the Bengals roster.
or Luke Regular too.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's a strategy because
Or if
Isaiah reaches for those Bengals players.
Yeah,
so
he
like,
does.
even if you thinking if you've got like a pick right after him, it's like, oh, but this guy's gonna get taken.
He's gonna take
Isaiah
T.
picks
Higgins.
T. Higgins over like one of these guys.
CD Lamb or some guy.
Tony
like,
Pollard.
That very well could happen, and I'm like, I'll take. That's the strategy. I'll go right behind
that is
Isaiah.
so
whenever-
true.
Yeah.
Because last year in our dynasty, or setting up our dynasty, like this is your team that you could keep for the rest of your life. Pick like T. Higgins 2nd round or something, 3rd round. Such a reach.
Yeah, I
It was something absurd. It was like end of 2nd round, he picked T. Higgins. Oh my god, dude.
And then also,
Wild.
I know Amon-Ra St. Brown's good, but I remember that was like
It's his favorite
it's
pick
him.
last
someone
year.
baited him into picking him because they were like, dude, if you don't pick him, I'm gonna get him. He's like, no, Like, oh, I gotta get him.
Yeah, I think it was like last year. It was second
yeah.
round.
He didn't get him last year. Luke Regular didn't. He was
Yeah, he
mad at
was
Luke
so
Regular 'cause
mad.
he took his guy, Amon Ra.
He was mad he lost Jamar, and then he was mad because he lost Amon-Ra St.
Because
Brown.
he had him last year or the year before, and he went
Yeah,
off
he-
for him, so now he's in love with him.
Oh, yeah, someone baited it. So one, it must have been the Dynasty League when someone
must.
Yeah, it was,
I remember that
Dynasty.
someone-
Are you
Dynasty.
serious? I feel like I remember that.
someone definitely
think it
baited
was, 'cause
him.
Luke
They're like,
Regular-
because like pick is like 10 picks before his ADP was up, and it was like,
Or was it Joe Mixon last year at the regular draft? Like at the podcast one,
know.
I feel like I remember that because someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take him."
It's just-
Like it was like 2nd round, which is like way too early for whatever person. Like, "Oh, I'm gonna take him." But like Isaiah's like, "No," and like, "Fine, I won't." Isaiah's like, "Whew, got him."
If I had to pick
Maybe
behind
not,
someone,
though.
sorry, but it's got to be Luke Regula, Isaiah, or Evan.
Oh,
Movement?
don't let Luke. You better hope Luke doesn't hear. He's gonna go off on you if he sees this podcast. He won last year, Trey.
That was the luckiest
His
championship I've ever seen in my life.
He's gonna win every single year, Trey. What do you mean? He knows sports betting more than you.
No. Everyone can get lucky every once in a while.
Hey, luck's like 90% of it, so
Yes, that's 100% true.
But yeah,
there's a
Not
little
about
bit.
there.
There's a little bit of skill.
Yeah, that's true. Because you could obviously be an idiot when you draft and,
Yeah.
and that work,
Evan
but-
Luthman.
I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, though, it is a lot of luck. I mean, it's basically all luck.
I
But
just remember us baiting the podcast like episode. Jalen Hurts #1 overall pick.
I was so.
Might as well be.
It might as well.
See, like I was
like 9th or
completely
10th
wrong in that on the whole Eagles team. I was just completely wrong because I know they were getting like a lot of hype going into last season with like, people were hyping up Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and I was like,
AJ Brown
these
was
guys,
super goated
Yes.
last year.
And I was just completely wrong on that. I didn't think the Eagles were going to be that great of a team. I'm like, dude, Jalen Hurts he's like a mid QB. AJ Brown's like very mid. Devontae Smith's going to be their wide receiver 1 this year, and wow, I could have, I messed up.
Could not have seen that
The
wrong.
Eagles were
Devontae
like one of
Smith
the best
was
teams
stealing
in the
like
league, and I was just,
all the targets.
did
though.
not see that coming. I don't know why.
I knew they were going to be good. I was high on Jalen Hurts for a long time. Like even when he stepped in,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like when he wasn't the starter, but he filled in, and like his very first game, it was really good scrambling
When he was
and
at-
everything.
And Devin,
and on the Eagles.
Yes, yeah.
both of you two were both high on Jalen. I remember that because both of you two were, and I thought you
I
guys
liked
were like,
him.
that's
Yeah.
ridiculous because you guys
I
were,
love Jalen.
you guys were hoping you could get Jalen a little bit later. than
I'm
what
not going to
Devin
take him in the
is.
first round.
you guys, I knew you
That
guys
was-
didn't even have a chance
I was gonna
to get
look-
him.
I was gonna
Even
look
if you
for him as
wanted
my
to-
quarterback.
Round
even if you
3.
were gonna pick him in your first pick. You wouldn't have gotten.
Nah,
him
I was
because
looking like round
for
5.
you.
For Jalen last year,
Jalen.
it sounds crazy now,
Yeah,
but
I
there
was
was
way
no
off
hype.
on
There
that.
wasn't like
True.
there's
It
just
does.
hype. It's just hype.
True. It's true.
But yeah,
But-
not first.
But with the Jaguars, I was spot on, man.
You thought they were
T-Law.
going to be good.
I thought they were
You
gonna-
thought
I
they were
thought
be terrible at the beginning of the season, then get better.
I was
you
talking.
thought they were gonna be
I thought they
good.
were gonna be good.
I mean, they weren't that good last year.
No, but
They
like,
were turning it on at the
I
end
was
of the
telling.
year.
I was
A
telling.
lot of
I think they're
people
going to be
do that.
really dangerous this year.
I was telling people.
Yeah, because
To
we had
pick.
a big argument about this about the
I
Jaguars.
was
'cause
telling
you were high
people
on them.
pick them to win the division. $20 down at the beginning of the season would win you $200 if they won the division. I'm like, absolutely. That division's going to be mid. The Titans are going to be the only team that can maybe contend with the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is a stud. Absolutely. I thought.
Good now he's in his junior season this coming season.
I thought
With Calvin
Let's
Ridley
watch
now.
out.
That
And
was
Calvin
one of my
Ridley,
proudest takes.
who hasn't played football in 2 years.
Have you guys seen the video of them in one of their practices or something? Of why am I blanking on the receiver's name that was there last year? But they did
Zay
one.
Jones.
Zay.
No, not Zay Jones. Their wide receiver 1.
Oh, Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk running a route, and then right after it's
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley running the
But-
same exact route.
Yeah.
How much
He's a
faster
lot
Calvin
faster.
is.
But-
His break is absurd.
I did see that. But if you actually watch closely, Christian Kirk definitely does more of a jump stop to the right. Calvin Ridley does more of a rounded. If you saw that thing, now it doesn't matter because he was ridiculously faster. So it's like obviously that was a better route, but like it was definitely more like tense when his versus theirs back to back. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
No, I didn't watch it that hard. I
But-
just saw it.
I saw that too, but it was crazy how fast that was. All in all, that was
He's
insane.
back, baby.
That is scary. That is scary. And
It
when
is
when
scary.
you got someone like T-Law passing you the ball.
Dude. It's just crazy.
4
'cause, like,
interceptions in 1/2.
I think my
And he still won. This guy
not
is
fun.
crazy, bro. How do you still win that game? That
It
dude is
was wild.
a menace, bro.
I remember
Oh,
watching that game.
I remember watching that because
I do too. I was
I
was out somewhere, I think, and I was
think we
watching
were at
the
Lake
Bengals.
House, right?
Where we at?
we were
on
at
the
Luke
Jacksonville
Regulus, and I ended up
game.
going to Brookins to watch the finish of the game. I know that because I was the whole time I was like hyping up, like Jaguars are gonna win this with ease. And then I remember Trey was talking like they went down big. I'm like, no, don't give up on them. But obviously I'm just being stupid at that point. Like, no, they ain't coming to come back from that. Oh, and I was at Brookins when we finished off that game. That was
We
awesome.
as like the Jaguars. Your
No,
favorite
like
team
all
now?
of my friends when we finished off watching the
I got
the game, I was going nuts.
I say change to a Jaguars fan now.
I do like the Jaguars though. It's a cool team. It's
It's a fun logo too.
cool team.
That big cats energy.
You always gotta love it when like those underdog teams like just shoot out of nowhere. And pull
It's
off.
fun. It really just shakes everything up.
It's like the Lions too.
Yeah,
Everyone loves the Lions.
I'm a big fan.
Not. too high on him. Like, I think
No, just like him as a team. They don't have to be good or not.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like just
Like
the
the
underdog
dynamic is
mentality.
fun.
Just dynamic.
Dan Campbell's the coach, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
Everyone loves
He's
him.
really fun.
Can't really hate him.
Brings that energy.
You hate him?
No, you can't really
Oh,
hate him.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll always love watching that game when they beat the Vikings
Yes.
as their first win of the season with the last second touchdown.
That was
And then
wild.
Jared Goff, as soon as he passes, it just goes over to Dan Campbell and just give like a big hug. That was actually like one of the greatest games to watch.
That or final game of the season. Texas wins on like a last second long pass to lose the first overall pick.
Yeah.
Give it to the Bears last year. Dude, do your tank job right at that point.
Which helped out because we traded for second overall because we gave him Chase Claypool. The Steelers gave him Chase Claypool. We got their second overall. But because,
Second round, you mean?
yeah, their second round pick.
Yeah.
But because, which would be the first overall pick, but Miami got their first pick booted. So we got the 32nd overall pick. So technically it was a first rounder. And I remember I was hyped too when I heard that the Bears were getting the first pick. I'm like, because immediately Steelers fans do the math like, well, with this, we're getting the 32nd pick because Miami got kicked out or
So
whatever.
didn't like a kid get screwed out of getting picked in the NFL draft then because there's just one less pick?
I think so, actually.
And so actually the Mr. Irrelevant
It should have been a draft
should have
pick.
been the guy after the last guy.
I believe so.
Like, who even was that? Does anyone know who that was?
Not a clue.
No one ever will know it because
The only person
Unless
I
they
ever met
do
was, like, Brock
something.
Purdy.
besides
and-
if you're him because he's got his chance. But
I think he's the starter, isn't he?
yeah,
That's crazy.
they're gonna trade Trey Lance and
Dude, they gave up so much for Trey Lance too.
I think they're in for a rude awakening for Brock Purdy. I don't think he's.
There was a
The
thing
guy.
too. I
I just
saw.
I'd put
I
Trey
just
Lance
don't think
over
it
him.
matters.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Right now in their position, like he's gonna be fine.
Don't
Because
they
that's the team.
have a QB3 too?
It's
Is it Sam Darnold?
yes, Sam Darnold.
Yeah. So
I was
they,
thinking of a Jets QB. I about said Zach Wilson. We
Yeah.
had Sam Darnold.
yeah, I was gonna say they even have Sam Darnold after all this. too.
There's an absurd stat that last year Geno Smith threw more passes in the season than Trey Lance threw combined in his high school, college, and NFL games. He threw more passes in one season last year.
Goodness.
Oh,
That's
wow.
ridiculous.
He threw like 81 passes in high school. That was it.
Wow.
Because did he just run a lot?
I don't know. I didn't really look into it. I just saw
Where'd
the
he
stat
go
of
to
that.
school?
No clue. High school, not college.
Yeah, where did he go to college though?
I cannot tell
It
you.
was like I know it was like some like smaller school. Like wasn't it in the FBS school?
I have no clue. I don't follow college football at all.
I could be completely wrong on that too though. So
with a bison logo. I don't know why I remember that.
Colorado.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking
North Dakota State
Oh
University.
shoot!
Oh, NDSU.
I was like, I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm
the
thinking
bison.
North Dakota
They
State.
got the bison as their logo.
Boom! I'm actually shocked I
Nice.
knew that. but yeah,
North
no.
Dakota.
So I didn't even. You didn't know about him in college, but I know he was one of the top QBs. I guess coming
Fourth
out
overall
just
pick,
because
wasn't he?
Something. He was high up. I know that, but
He gave up a lot for him.
Yeah, they did.
Drafted him last year as my sleeper QB.
W pick.
Great pick. Great
W
pick.
He could have
Yeah,
been fine.
I mean, he had the upsides, though. I mean,
Yeah.
again, it goes with the be okay with
Risk.
If you want to win, Trey Lance was the dude. Last
playing to
year.
win, not to not lose.
Yeah.
Always play to win.
Until
Who
you
the
have
hell is
no
my QB?
option, and then you have to play to not lose. Which it happens.
It happens. It happens. It's just as intense as playing to win, I think.
Yeah.
Playing to not
No,
lose.
it's more intense, dude.
No. Yeah, I had him last year in our podcast league. Then he got injured. I picked up Geno Smith off waivers.
Nice.
Oh,
that
could
was a
be.
dub. I remember that.
Yeah.
When did you get Geno Smith? Like, what week did you were you able?
It's
to
like
pick
end of
him
week
up?
1. He got injured like
Oh.
week 2, didn't he? Week 1, week
I have
2.
no clue. I don't know.
So I picked him off waivers.
Ended up working out well then.
Yeah. I don't even remember what place I got. I think I got 3rd last year in our podcast league again.
Yeah, I know you ended up in that top playoff bracket at least, but I don't know what place. But I would have been a good steal. I wish I got Geno Smith last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for this year's draft.
Same. I cannot wait to draft. It
I
just
know. I've been.
I like our
itching.
podcast draft just because it's that close too. Just like you don't have to wait for it. Like right now, we've done 2 drafts already. Dude, I want football to start.
Football's so
right
bad.
now.
Yeah, especially
Need it.
after you do draft it, you got a long wait till week 1. It's just like
Mm-hmm. Just
What do I
sitting there
do? What do
looking
I
at
do?
looking at the
Second
numbers,
guessing your team, try to see.
Oh,
who
yeah.
Yeah, looking
trades,
around.
all that.
Yeah.
It's like,
preseason trades,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
yeah,
But-
preseason trades are really stupid.
It's a
because-
really
All right, this is part 3. I think Sherm's editing this one. So this is just the outro. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Mhm.
We'll be back next week. Hope you enjoyed this football episode.
probably
And,
more to come.
Yeah, probably as the time's coming.
Be a long
So,
season yet. So
catch you guys later.
peace.
Bye.